Hey guys, it's Tony Butler again. Another episode of Marketing for Humans. And today we're going to talk about something that I see this everywhere on social media, and it's this kind of this what I call failure porn. And everyone has these ideas on, what is failure and why is it important and why you should fail faster and all the rest of it. Hey, listen, I'm not here to glamorize failure, but I want to tell you a story about a young man that I talked to this week who has, he has experienced enormous failure in the last few years, and it's all self-inflicted. And I had this really awakening conversation with him, and it just reminded me of a few things. And, I've dealt with enormous failure in my life. As an agency owner, I deal with, failed campaigns every week because we test campaigns and they fail and we change them. And I've also failed Ranger School. I failed just a whole myriad of things. But so we're going to talk a lot about failure, and I'm going to give you 4 tips to help you cope with failure and take something out of it. Okay, you won't be disappointed. So look, before we get there, please like this channel, like this video, follow. I'm going to have a surprise for you here in the next week or so. We're rolling something really special out to all of our followers and for all of our platforms. So stay tuned. I'm going to talk a lot about that at the very end. Okay, let's get right into it. So, some of I run a marketing agency. I run Primal Storytelling. I have an online platform. And I also run a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school in Montana. And I've been teaching Jiu-Jitsu, pretty much off and on for 20 years. And, Jiu-Jitsu is one of the oddest sports because every time you practice, it's a match is really about overcoming someone, getting rid of all their defenses and making them tap, maybe with a choke or an arm bar, a leg lock, wrist lock, you name it. Okay. And so basically every match, someone admits defeat, you're being overcome. I've tapped thousands and thousands of times. Even now, after 20 years of experience, I still tap. Okay, I get students who are coming along and they're learning, and I'm trying new things, and I get caught all the time. Okay, it's going to happen. And early on in jiu-jitsu, you'll see new students. This feeling of being overcome, this feeling of failure, it overwhelms them. Some of them get mad, they get emotional. But there's a rule of thumb in jiu-jitsu, and it's that in every match, you win or you learn, okay? And when you compete, that's what we really say. It's like you're going to win or you're going to learn, okay? And it's not that you don't learn when you win, but you actually learn a lot less when you win because everything worked. And when everything works, it's harder to learn something new that's important and valuable than when something didn't work, okay? So I have this student, he's been in my classes off and on for a couple years, and he's a really big guy. He's at any given time, I've seen him as heavy as 410, and then he went all the way down to about 340 or so. Then coronavirus hit, and now he's back up to somewhere 375, 380, maybe more. It's hard to tell. And he came into class the other day, and I hadn't seen him in months, and coronavirus and being locked up, and he's gone through a lot, just like we all have. Okay, but he came in with a failing mindset. He came in like a victim, and he had all these excuses for everything that had gone wrong and why he was getting heavy again and why he stopped working out, why he started eating junk again. Which is this long, ridiculous mindset. He let the circumstances dictate what was going on. No personal responsibility. No, I stayed open through the pandemic. I didn't close. I got in better shape during the pandemic. Okay, and I was talking to him. I was like, well, life happens to everyone, and you have allowed things to overcome you. You've allowed the setbacks to overcome you. What are you going to do next? Like, how are you going to take it to the next level? And he got really offended. He wanted to say that getting fat was from outside of himself. Everything happened to him. And I was like, dude, you ate the food, right? And it's probably not the most sensitive way to go about it, but I think in this circumstances it was needed. But what I realized was, and as I'm talking to him, is that this is a common thing that people do, is they become a victim. Okay, so there's 4 tips that I have for you, and this is coming from a guy that has failed over and over again. I went to ranger school 3 times. Okay, so I know what it's like to fail. Okay, so the first lesson comes directly from jiu-jitsu, and it applies to everything. All right, use your failure as a learning, as a classroom, as a lesson. Okay, there's this idea of the 10,000 hour rule to mastery, and what deliberate practice is about. It's about finding all the things that don't work and learning the right path and getting better and better and better. And like, improvement comes through failure. That's the wall you have to get through. Okay, you can't improve at anything that you do. The first time you try anything, you're gonna suck. You just are. You're not even gonna know how bad you suck until after you've been doing it for a while. Okay, that's the first tip. So treat failure like a lesson and use it to improve. Okay, second, don't be a victim. You've got to take 100% responsibility for everything. Okay, if you're in a relationship and that relationship fails, it's your fault. You take responsibility for the relationship. Not 10%, not 20%, definitely not 50%. You take 100% responsibility for the relationship. It sounds crazy, but until you commit and you take responsibility, you give away your power. All right, so one of my employees fails at something, I take responsibility. That was my fault. I should have given them more guidance. I should have got them more training. I should have helped them, given them more resources, everything that I can to take responsibility for it. Okay, I miss a deadline. It's not because I didn't have enough time or I was busy. It's because I didn't prioritize. I didn't make enough time. I wasted too much time doing the wrong stuff. Okay, you kind of follow the mindset? By accepting 100% responsibility for everything, you're going to take back your power, and that power will drive you forward to find a way to succeed. Okay, so the third one is, so you have a setback, you're learning from it. Next, you've got to plan and you've got to prepare to win the next time around. I think a lot of failure comes from not anticipating all the things that can go wrong. And like with this gentleman, we were talking about his diet, okay? Well, I asked him, I said, you're going to eat 21 meals a week, maybe some snacks involved. Have you planned them out? Do you know how many calories they are? Do you have the macros planned for each meal? Do you know what you're going to eat? Are you taking a lunch every day? Because those are the actions of someone who's really committed to losing weight, to bettering their physical fitness, to bettering their health. That's what someone like that does. Do you think an Olympian just wakes up in the morning and decides to eat Cocoa Pops? They got that meal planned. And they know what they're going to eat, and they plan to win, okay? If you want to be a competitor in any field, you've got to practice and you've got to plan to win. You got to prepare to win every single day. You got to wake up in the morning ready to win, okay? If you leave things up to chance, you leave things up to, I don't feel like it, I don't want to, and you're negotiating your goals on a daily basis, you're just gonna fail. That's it, okay? So don't do it. Plan ahead, come up with a good plan, be detailed, put it in your calendar, and stick to it, okay? That will help you win in everything you do, whether it's marketing, it's in your business, physical fitness, jiu-jitsu, you name it. Plans help, okay? So the fourth one, and this is one that I can't give to you. You have to take this for yourself, is that you have to commit and go all in, okay? Half-hearted attempts are going to give you half-hearted results. And you see this all the time. People, they don't lose. They go, well, I didn't really prepare anyway. Oh, I didn't try my hardest. I see this with kids. I see this with kids in school all the time. Like, well, I didn't even study. I didn't do well. Well, okay. Well, poor preparation equal poor results. But the real thing is that if you want to excel, if you want to succeed at something that's hard, is you got to go all in. You got to give everything to yourself. You got to give everything of yourself to win. Now, when you go all in and you still fail, and it will happen, it hurts. It hurts way worse than if you just went half-hearted. Because if you half-hearted, you have an excuse, okay? But if you go all in, you give everything you got, and you still fall short, that's when courage comes in. And that's when you got to get back up. You got to try again and again and again. And keep getting knocked down, and you're going to improve and get stronger, and then improve and get a little better, okay? It's tough. It's tough, but going all in, that's the secret to long-term success. I think that part of the problem with the whole side hustle culture is that often people keep their side hustle, as 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day or 6 hours a week or whatever they dedicated to it. And it can never take fire. And there's a time when you're going to get to this point and you have to make a decision. Do I go all in and try and put it on the line? Or do I just keep giving half-hearted effort? Your diet, your fitness, your business on the side, all those things are asking for commitment. Just about every diet every diet you've ever heard of will work if you go all in. Okay, if you just kind of half-ass it and you do it 75%, you're going to get 50% results. You're going to get 20% results. I know people that go to the gym all the time and they have no results to show because they don't take it far enough. They don't commit enough to get the kind of results that they really, really want. Okay, it's like that in everything that we do. It's like that in relationships. It's like that in business. It's like that in fitness and health. Okay, you got to commit. You got to go all in. Half-hearted results are never going to help you win. Okay, so those are the 4 tips. I hope those are helpful for you. So look, over the next couple of weeks, I am rolling out a Marketing for Humans membership site. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about primal storytelling. We're going to talk about business building, some personal development. Level 1 is going to be free membership site. I hope you can join. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes. So please join Primal Storytelling, our membership site, and I hope to see you there. Be well.